Hi, welcome to Cast and Loose Living Room. I'm Lynne Marie Rosenberg. I'm here today with Garrett David Kim.
Hello.
Hello. So happy you're here. Garrett is a playwright, director, and teaching artist who you might know from being the program director at my favorite organization in the entire world, 52nd Street Project. You might not know him from playing the pigeon in Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. Where was this production of Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus?
This was at First Stage Children's Theater in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which, shout out to First Stage, one of my favorite places. Belting G's at like 8:45 in the morning to like classical music that they put text to. So it was an amazing show.
I would like you to know that I too have played a pigeon.
Really?
I have. I played a pigeon in the Wildlife Conservation Society's children's theater program that they had at the Queen Zoo.
Funny, it's only at children's theater shows that actors play pigeons.
I would play an adult pigeon.
I would too.
Like an adult pigeon. When I asked Garrett what he'd like to talk about today, he mentioned breakdowns for Asian men. Mm-hmm. So I thought we'd take a look at a few of those. Now, I have already warned Garrett. He has heard some of these before because they were in my show about Asian issues in casting in 2017.
It was amazing.
It was a great show. They're always worth revisiting, I think.
Yeah.
As an Asian man in the industry, you will be desired for many traits and skills. For instance, your facility with language will be particularly important. Straight out of the gate.
Okay. Rice Krispie. Male Asian rapper. Male. 18 to 40. He thinks he is a world famous rapper with swag. He is funny, hyper and outgoing. Must have the ability to improv and act like a hardcore rapper. Must be comfortable with comedy and being silly. If can rap a little or rhyme a few lines with an accent or in any Asian language, a big plus.
Any Asian language.
I'm glad they gave this character a lot of thought before they wrote this breakdown.
Rice Krispie, though.
I don't even have anything. I don't have anything.
There's like no point between here and here that they stopped and were like, maybe this is a bad idea. Also desired is your facility with no language.
Miyagi, 60 to 90 years old. East Asian China, Japan, etc. Male. Those are just countries and regions of the world. The wisest man in the world, moved from somewhere in the Far East. Should feel like the Disney version of the wise old Asian man, seeking great dynamic actors to play a pivotal role, mostly without dialogue.
If you find yourself typing the words the Disney version of,
yeah, just
start
like,
again. Just
pause, rewind, and do some editing.
But perhaps more important is your look.
Janice. Okay, so Janice, 24 to 34 years old, Caucasian/Asian male, a peaceful, overweight man, possibly Buddhist looking.
Now, I have been a practicing Buddhist for over 10 years, and no one told me that I was supposed to look like that instead.
Yeah, Lynne, you've been doing it all wrong.
I've been doing it all wrong. Lastly, Garrett mentioned he would be interested in seeing breakdowns for young people well. So I give you the young Asian man.
Lyric, 16, Asian, heavy accent. Learned English through the classic rock station. He is a member of the same graffiti crew that Diego runs. His sole purpose is to bring comedy to the project.
And lastly, the young Asian woman.
Kyoro. Female, Asian, 13 to 18. Kyoro is stylish, hip, and 7 months pregnant! Whoa!
It really gets you at the end there.
She is a
13 to 18. This breakdown is a lawsuit.
So her personality is that she knows cool music and has a child.
So something you mentioned to me in my questionnaire, which I loved, is you were talking about in life, because you are mixed race. In life, there has been some fluidity afforded to you in terms of moving in spaces and being privileged in certain spaces. One of the problems, and I don't quite know how we move through this in an industry that is based in storytelling, is people get shoved into spaces as literary tools in some senses, but when you live in between spaces, and I've had many mixed race friend actors of mine say they never feel like any space is really allowed for them, and there aren't a lot of stories being written about the experience of being in multiple cultures.
Yeah, and I think that's true for like folks of mixed race. I think that's true of anyone who falls on the gender or sexuality spectrum that's not straight or gay or male or female. I think while we've moved forward like significantly in recent time, I think there's still a lot of like nuance that we still haven't parsed out in terms of like fully like how what people who don't fall on like the extremes of identity, like how to fully realize like their experiences.
You do get to cast things for your job.
I do.
And that you enjoy.
I do, yeah. At the 52nd Street Project, we pair young people with volunteer artists, and they collaborate to make original work. And arguably the most important thing that I do, and what I think is one of the most fun things to do, is to kind of go through all of the people who have worked with us before or who want to get involved with us, and figure out who to invite to partake in certain programs. As someone who now has done a lot of like the being on the other side of the table and like, you know, kind of having to figure out who you want to like be part of a project, it's just like not that much work to make sure that you like have a diverse group of people working on a project. And I don't mean diverse like you have like 5 white people and like 3 black people and like you call it a day. Different genders, different races, like just have different personalities, different like artistic sensibilities, like even within all of that. It's not that hard. Like, part of the reason why I think this is so important and why I'm like very excited to talk to you about this is like I see the young people that I work with notice when casting is done right and when it's not done right. They can tell when like there's a lot of white people in that project, right? You know, like versus when, oh, there's like, this is exciting. There's all these like different people coming around. Like,
I love the point you make that it's not that hard. You just have to do it.
It's not that hard.
And I get on people's cases all the time about this sort of thing. And I've talked about this a lot, but that you got to do it from step one. Like it's got to be, you have to be committed to it from the earliest reading, you know, to whatever it is. Like you just have to have a mind for it. Well, I cannot thank you and the 52nd Street Project enough for not only being an incredible place for the young humans who we work with there, but for all the volunteers. It is such a safe space. We were talking about this before. It is such a safe space. It is such a warm, intersectional learning space for just some of the most open-hearted writers, directors, and actors I've ever met. And so thank you so much for all the work that you do.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Take care of each other and be professional. Casting's always a jigsaw puzzle, but you decide what the picture's going to look like. Ooh, that was good.
That was very good. I really like that.